here with Kaitaku with little Haley Jane, and today I am going to show you all of the non-manga books that I hauled in the month of July. So first we have got I'm Thinking of Ending Things. And so this book is one that I saw Read with Cindy do a video with Elias Reads. And in that story, he talked about this book and how much he really enjoyed it, and it's going to be made into a Netflix movie. So I decided to pick it up. I have not read it yet, and I am not 100% sure what it's about, but it's supposed to be a thriller. It's supposed to be insanely scary, so I'm really excited to dig into this one sometime soon. Next, I got A Blade So Black. And this book, Entertainment Weekly says, is Alice in Wonderland meets Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So I am so excited about this book. And on top of that, Angie Thomas gives it is highly recommended by Angie Thomas. And so I'm always looking for more books by Black authors that feature more Black main characters. And so trying to diversify my reads, I've added this to my list, and I was a big Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan as a girl, so definitely excited for this one. Next, I've got The Boyfriend Project by Farrah Rochelle. And if you saw my books that I read in July video, then you were familiar with this one, and I talk a little bit more about this one in that video. And I've got it annotated. This was a really good book, and I would highly recommend it. Definitely one of those books that you can go into completely blank, and it's a really good story. And it's another Black author with Black main characters, so it helped me with diversifying my reads this year. Next, we've got Wicked Fox by Cat Cho. I also read this in the month of July for Readathon, and if you saw my Readathon blog, then you know how much I absolutely love this book. The sequel is coming out this month, and I'm already pre-ordered for it, so I cannot wait until I get to read that one. Unfortunately, it's a duology. I was kind of hoping for a full series, but the author did say on her Instagram that she was interested in possibly diving into more of the side characters. But as far as the main story goes, it's a duology, and I can't wait to read the sequel. Next, I hauled June Hers, The Silence of Bones. This was the group read for Readathon. It is a thriller, and it is set back in the Joseon era of Korea, which is in the 1800s. So it is a very interesting book. We've got a female protagonist who is born as a servant and lives her entire life that way. And we get to see her try and help and solve these series of murders. And so it is a great murder mystery. It kept me guessing until the very end, and I was completely surprised at who the murderer was. So I highly recommend this book, and I do believe this is June Hers' debut novel. So for a debut novel, it is freaking amazing. The next two books that I hauled were actually gifts. I participated in @WellReadBlackGirls Black Experience Book Swap on Instagram. And I was paired with @VTheReader. I sent her a couple of books I was interested in. She sent me her interest, and I got these two books. The Sun is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon, which was recently turned into a Netflix movie. And once I saw the preview for that, I had to read the book. So I'm very excited to finally get a chance to read this book. And then she also sent me A Song of Wraith and Fury, which has been a very popular book on Bookstagram recently. A lot of people have been reading this, and I'm excited to dive into it. It is set in a fantasy world, and we've got a princess who's trying to resurrect her mother who's been murdered, and then we've got Malik who is trying to save his younger sister, and the two of them meet, and it's going to be pretty interesting. I'm excited to see how this goes and how the two of them interact, because they both have the same goal, which is to kill each other. So I'm interested to see how all of that goes, and glad that V gifted this to me. So thank you, V the Reader, for those two books. Next, we've got Benty. The Benty trilogy was recently released in one anthology in paperback in July. And so I participate in a book club here where I live with other Black women lawyers. And this month was my chance to pick the book. And so I picked Benty. I have not read it yet. It is our August book club read. So I'm excited to dive into this. I love space fantasy books. I love sci-fi novels. And so this is kind of a combination of all of that, and I can't wait to read it. Next, I picked up Daisy Jones and the Six, and this is actually a book that I picked up from, I believe, Miss Coco Chen on Twitter. She was looking to unhaul this book, and it was a book that I have been interested in a while. So I picked this up from her off of Twitter and very excited. I've heard a lot of great things about this book and can't wait to dive in. And last but not least, the last book that I hauled was 1 Year of Ugly. 1 Year of Ugly is actually, and let me just check here, is actually set in the Caribbean. And so this young lady and her family have had to go to the Caribbean. They have immigrated to the Caribbean because of issues back home. And Ugly is actually one of the gangsters there who is like trying to get money out of them to pay back debts. And so this is a pretty interesting read. It was one of my choices for trying to diversify my reads more. And so I cannot wait to read this one. So that was a lot of novels and books for this month. Most of them I have not gotten a chance to dive into yet, so be on the lookout soon for my reviews of those. I hope that you enjoyed this haul. If you have any books that you're interested in, have been reading, please let me know in the comments. I am really excited to see what you guys have been reading and what you guys have been picking up in the stores. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you like what you saw here today. And I will be back next time with more videos. Bye.